The Paley Institute treats patients from all around the world, from 6 continents and all 50 states. Let's meet our patients and hear their stories. Although their backgrounds and physical journeys differ, their shared experience of world-class treatment has dramatically changed their lives. What led you to come to the Paley Institute for treatment?
First of all, my name is Aisha Miran. I'm the mother of Latifah Al-Joker. She's a 12-year-old girl. We come from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, far away from here. We came to know about Dr. Paley Institute by coincidence, actually from our orthopedic back home. Latifah was diagnosed with Conradi-Hinnerman syndrome. So our orthopedic back home, when he knew that we were flying to the UK, for a leg lengthening, he actually gave us the advice to look into the Paley Institute. And I remember that night I Googled the Paley Institute and I read about Dr. Paley, I read the reviews, and I actually took his email. And by midnight I emailed him Latifah's medical history, x-rays, future plan for her leg lengthening, and I slept. Fortunately enough, I woke up in the morning. As a working mom, I checked my email and I received an email from him. That was a surprise for me, to receive an email within less than 24 hours from the US to Dubai. Technology does help, but it was a very prompt response from the doctor himself. So he actually gave me a full advice on her leg lengthening. And the interesting part is that he gave me a new technique, which wasn't known for us. I actually took 2 other opinions, one in Germany and one in the UK, on her leg lengthening, and both advised for an external fixator. But with Dr. Paley, he advised on an internal fixator, and that's the precise technique. So I emailed him back asking, what is this about and how long we will stay, and just a typical mom with lots of inquiries, and he kept on responding.
It's actually, I was at my office, my wife's at her office. You don't know what hit you at first. You don't know so you just kind of researching all the options. After we found out exactly what it was when he told us it was 10 million. So I would do research, my wife would do research, and we found, my wife went to medical school with a good friend of ours. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And we had heard about Dr. Paley on the internet, just doing our research. And then he's actually our son's godfather. He's an orthopedic surgeon too. Once we said, Dr. Paley's like, yeah, he said, that's the man, you need to go see him.
Well, after Sienna was born, we went to a lot of doctors. We met with a lot of people, and eventually we weren't really comfortable with what other people were saying, what other doctors were saying, and so we did our own research, and eventually that led us to the Paley Institute. We met with Dr. Paley one time, and we were like, you know what, this is the place we gotta go. We were just immediately comfortable with all the things he told us, with his knowledge over what he felt he had to do. It was pretty immediate, so that's why we started coming here.
When Mackenzie was born, we were actually at a craft show, and we ran into a little girl that had a shoe lift on her shoe. And I asked her where she was from and talked to the mom, and the mom said, before you make any decisions, go see Dr. Paley, and as soon as you see Dr. Paley, you wouldn't want to see any other doctor. And she was correct. We saw many doctors before this, and they had, led us to believe that she would need an amputation on the right leg, and Dr. Paley said absolutely not, that we can correct her issue.
Eloise was born in July of 2012, and she was diagnosed with fibular hemimelia in both legs. So at first, we sought out some answers from a local pediatric orthopedist in Baton Rouge, and the answers we got were not what we were looking for. They told us she would have to have amputation of both legs. So as you can imagine, this was horrifying news, and so then we started to search elsewhere. Searched the internet, started talking to other doctors, went to New Orleans to see another pediatric orthopedist at Children's Hospital, And that's when we first learned about Dr. Paley. And the pediatric ortho in New Orleans told us about this option in West Palm, Dr. Paley. And so then we started the search again and said, okay, this could be a viable option. And so here we are, and she's doing well. So we're just so thankful for Dr. Paley, his entire staff and team that he's able to do this for these children.
How has the treatment that you received at the Paley Institute enhanced your child's life so far?
When I see kids that have the same diagnosis as I have in physical therapy, I'm like almost done. So I'm telling them, see, I'm almost done. So there's a day that you're gonna be just like me, and you're gonna finish just like me. You're gonna be normal just like me. So just go for it. Even though you're scared, you're like, you wake up in the morning, and I know because I'm used to it, and I wake up in the morning every day. So, but there's an end of all those stuff, because even though you get hurt and stuff like that, but you know that this is good for you.
I would say it's a life-changing experience. Latifa had lots of previous surgeries, and I've noticed Latifa's character was changing with lots of surgical interventions, like any other child who would go through rough times. But our arrival and her arrival to the States and seeing other difficult cases more severe than Latifa gave her the confidence and gave us a relief as a family in supporting Latifa. She was able to balance her feet now. She's able to walk normally like any other child, and that gave her the self-confidence in herself. So it did help her a lot, and it helped us as a parent.
It's been incredible. That first day when we were told amputation, it was pretty scary. And when we found Dr. Paley and we figured out that was something that he could possibly save her legs, we still thought, okay, she'll have her legs, but what is she really going to be able to do? And since we did the super ankle surgery and the lengthening surgery this year, it's just been amazing, the outcome and the results. I mean, she's running around, keeping up with her 4-year-old brother. Never in our wildest dreams did we ever think that was going to be possible. So the results have been just absolutely incredible. As you can see, she's running there. It's been amazing. And our family and friends back home, no one can believe the results when we look at before pictures of where she was back just last year to what she's doing now. It's been incredible.
What is it like to come from so far to obtain health care?
It is a lot to be gone from home for an extended period of time, but if you have to be somewhere, I would say that Florida's not a bad place to be, and the weather is usually very nice, and everyone here at Dr. Paley's office is very helpful and very friendly. We were able to find a home to rent here in the area, and I know a lot of other families stay at Quantum House, which is a great resource because it's so close by, and they have the shuttle, and there are so many people that you meet here from all over the world that have brought their children and had to kind of put their lives on pause, or if they have other children that they had to bring with them or leave at home, It is a process, but it's worth it because you know in the end that your child's going to be able to get around and do what they want to do and be happy. And the alternatives for our son, was to amputate his leg at the knee, and I would do it all over again to have him be able to run around and do what he wants with his own leg.
As an international patient, it is worrying at the beginning, to be leaving your home, coming to a new place. And for us as a family, we're more used to the European system than the American system. It was our first visit to the United States, the first visit to the Paley Institute, read only about it, in the internet. So there was this worrying and a lot of emotions going on. But since our arrival, and I would say even prior to our arrival, from the doctor's response, his prompt response to our emails, the phone calls we were receiving, and even the emails to make sure everything was set for us has helped a lot. And since we arrived, the treatment that we got, the support we got from the Paley Institute staff was tremendous. So, this is our third year in the States and in the Paley Institute, and every year we've seen progression.
How would you describe the staff at the Paley Institute?
Craig and I were here, I would say, from May through mid-August, so three and a half months, and we got to spend a lot of time with the staff here at Dr. Paley's office, and everyone was very helpful. They were very accommodating as far as our schedule with Michael, who was just turning 2 and has nap time and different things, and it can be obviously the doctor has a lot of patients that would like to see him, and there are a lot of people that are here to see him, but they do everything they can to make the experience as pleasurable as can be possible. And also the physical therapy department is great. They were able to schedule us every day so that we could come in the afternoon when Michael was most conducive to doing therapy and in the best mood, and all of the therapists really helped him a lot, and especially Laura, she was awesome and really connected with our son and got him walking again for the first time after he got the fixator on.
They're wonderful. We have never had quite an experience, whether it be a simple question, logistics questions, not having been to Florida or not having been in this area of Florida. How do we get around? Where should we stay? What other options do we have for physical therapy? How can we coordinate physical therapy from a distance? They're more than helpful in trying to organize and coordinate from a distance because we're traveling so far. The time that Dr. Paley has spent with us in our consultations, invaluable. Never quite had an experience like that with another physician. Always making sure that all of our questions are answered before we leave. Always making sure that we have a very clear understanding as to what the expectations of the procedure are and what our expectations are as parents in terms of being able to care for him after the procedure has always been very clear and very helpful.
They've been
exceptionally helpful,
Right.
Exceptionally helpful with everything, answered all our questions. Anytime we needed anything, everybody would go out of their way to help us. It's been a great experience, truly.
You know, with something like this, it's we owe a debt of gratitude, really, that you can't repay this kind of thing. Everyone's just been amazing to us. We've been coming here since Sienna was 4 months old, and so we feel like we know them, we feel like they know us, and they always just take good care of us.
If you had advice for another family considering and researching treatment for their child, what would it be?
My advice would be to definitely come to the Paley Institute. We have had nothing but great experience here. It's been a long haul, and she's went through many of situations, bad and good here, but in the end result, having her the way she is today, we wouldn't have changed any decisions that we have made. And we talk to patients that have babies now that that are getting ready to go through this, and that's our advice to them was, do not amputate, give Dr. Paley a chance, and he will show you what he can do.
I would say do all the research you can, speak to your local doctors, but if they don't know much about some of the conditions that the children have here are fairly rare and haven't been seen where you're from, to try to find as much information as you can and make the best decision that you can for your child, but also know that Dr. Paley has been here and all over the world and has helped so many children that you can go online and find people that have written plenty of blogs and different reviews that have come to see Dr. Paley that have had great results, and any questions that you have, you can always call and speak to someone in Dr. Paley's office, and they'll be glad to help you. And Jennifer Scott is a great resource and helps all the families as much as she can, and definitely makes everything easier and helps ease your fears and your kind of your doubts.
I would, you know, I think what I do, and I've been contacted by parents before. My biggest thing, I always say, go listen, go give it a chance, go talk to him, and once you talk to him and see how the difference in confidence that he has and what the plan that he can lay out once he sees your child, it'll change your entire opinion of whatever you were told before. I mean, when we left, that's one thing about Dr. Paley. When we talked to him that first conversation, he wrote out everything, drew everything on the table, drew out what he was going to do. His plan was concise, and so the advice that I would say, come to the Paley Institute, and your life will be changed.
I would tell them to go online and do research before you don't just accept just one doctor's opinion. Do your research, go online, and I tell you, Dr. Paley and his staff, I tell you, they just heaven sent. I mean, they made his dream a reality. You know, he can go out now and he can play any sports. He loves soccer. Now he can actually go out and play it. You know, so he's done miracles for him. Yeah, I tell anybody, go online, research, find out where Paley Institute is, and just check into it and just see, because he's doing some wonderful things. Yeah.
I would say first research all the options. My other advice is to be patient. You really don't know how long you're going to be here.
Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected, but also stay here. I mean, between the doctors and the therapists and everything that goes along with it, it's so important to get the entire treatment done here. After the surgery, you don't want to just leave. You want to stay here. You want to use the therapist because they're trained and they're so good at what they do. And it's a process. So, you know, you're going to go through ups and downs. There's going to be bumps in the road, but just stay patient and know in the end it's going to be the outcome that you want.
It's going to be worth it.
I trust him because he knows he's a decision maker. I always tell everybody, if you want to be in a safe hand, you do it with Dr. Paley. Go ahead for it. If you want to be treated in a safe hand, be with Dr. Paley. And don't ever do it, don't ever just go to a different doctor because he's the one who's gonna help your daughter or your son.